Vanity alert. Vanity alert. I made a video earlier today, and I thanked everybody that supports me, and I appreciate that. And there was this one father, that said, "Oh, my kids love watching your videos," and I was like, "You should sit with them, trying to explain it, what I'm talking about." So, yeah. I look out for everybody. I spent my whole life in the carnival business, and I set up and tore down, I don't know how many rides, man, thousands. Listen, you guys, it's my job to look out for you. It is. It is. And I figured that out a long time ago, man. I sure did, man. I figured it out a long time ago. My job is to make sure you guys are safe. Now, don't believe everything I say because I'm a human being. And we all lie. And we all exaggerate. We exaggerate. We do. Here, I need some chaser. I met this father today, man, and he said, "Oh, my kids love your show." And I'm like, "Oh my God, man, are you sitting there with them, watching it? Don't let them believe everything I say, because I do exaggerate. I'm an old carny. Spent my whole life in the carnival business, and I was thoroughly trained by the U.S. Carnival Service how to entertain you guys, And I will, man. I'll entertain you, man. I can tell you stories, the things I've seen in the carnival. I know I'm supposed to keep these videos short, but I've been drinking some baka, and so I want to kind of ramble a little bit. Take, take, take some time with your kids, and show them how to throw a cast net. Teach them how to fish. Teach them how to shoot a rifle at it. I do love venison. I do. I'll eat it all day long. So you got to teach them this kind of stuff, Some people will take offense to that, but you got to remember, man, this is America. This is America, man. All right, I feel bad. Not really. But I feel bad what happened to the Indians. But remember, they're not from India. They're from China. And they came over here and, they did whatever they did, and then us Europeans, white guys, come over here and, we fucking took it over. We took it over, And I think we've done a pretty good job, because we've created an empire. And that's what we are. We're an empire. Now, Dad, I know your kids are not going to understand that, so you're going to have to explain it to them, how we came here and we've created this empire. But it's a good place, man. It is. If anybody's going to be free, and we created our Constitution, and we're going to have to fight for that. Remember, Jefferson said, that Jefferson and Thomas Jefferson said, that if we're going to be free, We're going to have to, the blood of patriots is going to be blood from, I don't remember how exactly he said that. There's something about Jefferson that he said, President Jefferson said that, the blood of patriots are going to be shed to get rid of tyrants. We're a free country. We don't bow down to kings and queens. I'd never do it. I'd never do it. Ever. I would never bow down to a king or a queen. Ever. I expect to live as a free man, and I'll sacrifice my blood for that. And I expect you to do the same, you men, real men. This is our country, I know it used to belong to the Indians, but they weren't even from here. They were from China. Look, and I feel bad what happened to the Indians. I do, but there's nothing can be done about that. When I was a young man, there was an Indian reservation just down the road because I grew up in Miami, right off Highway 41, and they brought the Indians, into our schools, to train them, to speak English. I have nothing to do with that. I don't know everything. I do not know everything, but I know a lot because I've been around a long time. So, we keep this nation the way it is, because it's a free nation, and that's the way it should be in the whole world. The whole world should be that way. And then you start hearing about these other religions and Allah. It ain't Allah. His name is not Allah. It's Yahweh. And all us Christians, just so you Christians know, we're Jews. We're Jews. If you believe in Christianity, then you're a Jew. Because Christ he was a rabbi. When I go out there and make my money the way I make the money right now, if I can find a better way, I will. I don't Jesus was a Jew. He was a rabbi and a carpenter. This is why I don't, I'll feed the homeless people. I will, when they're so stupid to feed themselves, I'll throw them some food, whatever. I don't give them money because most of them are on drugs, and that's something we need to work on. But they don't comprehend that, Jesus is their savior and he's a Jew, He was. And they murdered him for it. So if I were you, and I'm doing research on this thing about Christianity, I'm doing research on it. I am. There's a whole lot of evidence. If you were to take this to a court of law, which is what I believe here in America we have, and we have a court of law, because we're not savages. We're not, we're not vicious animals. We believe in freedom to speak whatever you say. And, the ones that want to speak against it, that's fine. You want to speak against Christianity or you want to speak against America, so be it, whatever. But don't think we're going to trust you. I'll make a video one of these days as how I believe that my people came to this country, and it wasn't nice. I believe my people came here as Hessians. So this is what you got to do. You gotta go and do the research. You gotta go and do the research, because Hessians came to this country to take down George Washington. But we stayed. And the few of us that survived George Washington were still here. And we believe in the American Constitution and we all want to be free. So remember what I say. Love the one you're